Welcome my dear students, happy Diwali. I hope you all enjoy well in this Diwali festival, the festivals of light. But after Diwali we back again into learning. Today I discuss about the wave nature of light. Previous day I talk about the particle and wave nature of light. So today we first learn about interference of light. Interference of light. Now to study the interference of light, at first we can define some term. That is, number 1, superposition principle, principle of superposition. Number 2, phase. What is the meaning of superposition and what is phase? The principle of superposition, at first we go with principle of superposition. Let us consider two waves coming from this side and another waves coming from this side to a particle. Now what is wave? What is wave? Wave is a disturbance that transfer energy through a medium without displacements of the particle of that medium. When we throw a stone in a pond, then some circular wave front created, and if the solid line we treat as crests, then the dotted line is trough. For transverse wave, the wave is spread through the medium by trough and crest. So the principle of superposition is state that at a point, if there are a number of waves, if a number of waves meet at a point, then the resultant displacement is equal to the vector sum of individual displacement of waves at that instant. Resultant displacement is equal to vector sum of individual displacement of waves, and every waves passing through the medium as if no waves were present except this wave. This is that is the waves are independent of each other. So if two waves सॉरी मेरी तबीयत कुछ ख़राब है, कुछ दिनों से बुखार हुआ था, सर्दी लग गई है. तो if y1 and y2 are the displacement of two waves and they meet at a point, then according to superposition principle, the resultant disturbance y is the simply vector sum of the two waves, that is y1 plus y2. And if there are many waves, then obviously y3 and so on. This is the principle of superposition. If we draw this, suppose this is the mean position of an particle, then if this is crest of one wave and this is also the crest of one wave, then the resultant wave is 0t, 0 this time is, then the resultant wave is added, resultant displacement is added up. If the crest of single wave is fall on the crest of another single wave, then the resultant displacement is added up. Similarly, when the trough of a single wave is falls on a trough of another single wave, suppose these two waves, this is the trough, then the resultant trough will be, if this is t, then the resultant trough will be 2t. But when the crest of one wave is falls on the trough of one wave, then the resultant displacement will be cancelled out. Suppose this occur, that is the crest of one wave is falls on trough of one wave, then the resultant displacement will be cancelled out, resultant will be cancelled out. This is very useful in to learning or to understand the theory of interference. Now, so this is the principle of superposition, and if we take the general equation of a simple harmonic wave SHM, this is A sin omega t plus phi. A is the amplitude of the wave, omega is angular frequency, t is time period, simply the time elapsed, phi is epoch. Now, and y is the displacement of particle. A is the amplitude of wave. Now, this omega t plus phi, this term is considered as phase. This term is considered as phase. Now, what is the significance of this phase in interference or in wave theory? This phase tells us about the position and direction of a wave. The wave, in which direction the wave is spread and how much. Suppose if we take phi equal to 0, now phi, if we take phi equal to 0, then what can we get? Y equal to A sin of omega t. Then if we get in this equation, if we get t equal to 0, what can we get? T equal to 0 means this term will be 0, that is y equal to 0. That is at t equal to 0, the wave is at the origin. Now, if t equal to t by 2, that is total time by 2, then what can we get? Y equal to A sin omega means 2 pi by t, you know it from the wave theory, and t equal to t by 2. Then what can you get? T cancel out, sin pi, then again it is 0. Sin pi means 0. So, the phase of a wave describes its positions, that is, if we plot this wave 0, then it is t by 2, this is t, then at t by 2 it is also 0, that is at t equal to 0 it is 0, t by 2 is also 0, this type of wave we will get. And if we take phi equal to pi by 2 in spite of 0, if we take phi equal to pi by 2, then this defines a cosine function. That is, the wave start not from 0 but pi by 2 from this position. Sin pi by 2, that is cos, sin omega t plus pi by 2, that is cos omega t, cos omega t. And if we put in t equal to 0 in cos omega t, we find A. So the maximum displacement, in this case the displacement will be maximum. It will be, if we take pi by 2, phi equal to pi by 2, then we can get A cos omega t. Now again, if we get t equal to 0, if we say t equal to 0, what can get? Cos 0. Cos 0 means 1. That is the value of y equal to plus A, that is maximum. So at t equal to 0, the wave starts from this position, and this is a cosine wave. So the phase is defined, or phase tells us about the position and direction of wave, or the time elapsed, the time elapsed in which it crosses its mean position. This is a simple harmonic wave. Now we go with the theory of interference. What is interference? Interference is the phenomena in which two light waves from two coherent source. Now what is coherent source? Coherent source means the source in which the phase difference is constant or 0 at all time. If we take two waves, A sin omega t plus phi 1 and y2 equal to A sin omega t plus phi 2, here we can say that the amplitude is same. So in this case, the phase of this is omega t plus phi 1 and the phase of second wave is omega t plus phi 2. Therefore the phase difference is phi 2 minus phi 1 or phi 1 minus phi 2. If the value of phi 1 minus phi 2 equal to 0 or constant at all the time, then two waves are said to be coherent, then the source of two waves is said to be coherent source. That is, the two waves said to be coherent if they vibrate with same phase and they maintain a constant phase difference or 0 phase difference between them. Now let us go with theory of interference. Thomas Young was experiment a double slit experiment. So in Young's double slit experiment, which he actually he takes a pinhole S, which is a source of monochromatic light. It is very necessary that the light is monochromatic, that is, the light contains only one single wavelength. The white light or sunlight or any sodium or helium light cannot be monochromatic because it has a multiple wavelength. Sodium light has two wavelengths, 5896 angstrom wavelength and 5890 angstrom wavelength, and we all know that the white light has 7 wavelengths. So if the source of light is monochromatic, then only the interference pattern will be observed, otherwise it will not observe. So S is a source of monochromatic light, and in front of S he take two narrow slits, S1 and S2. Now according to Huygens principle, S1 and S2 are equidistant from S. So the S1 S2 are equidistant from S, and according to Huygens principle, every source in the secondary wavefront is a source of secondary disturbance. Every point on the secondary wavelets is a source of secondary disturbance. So S1 and S2 are behaved as coherent source. as they are generating from one parenting source and they are equidistance from S, and so the equidistance from S, so the path difference from S, that is SS1 and SS2 equal to 0, and they act as coherent source. So they all spread spherical wavefronts in this way. So if we take a screen at a distance d from the two source, then there is a redistribution of energy. What is the meaning of redistribution of energy? This is known as central point, that is the distance of S1 and S2 is equal from O. So the path difference delta x is 0 for the point O. So here we can get a bright band which is known as central bright band, central bright band, for which the path difference is 0. Now if we take this is P1, P2, P1 and this is P1 dash, P2 dash, then we can get dark fringe, and then we can get bright fringe alternatively, and here is also this is dark fringe and bright fringe. That is, the central fringe is bright, which is surrounded by dark fringe, bright fringe, dark fringe, bright fringe. If we take it from the front side, this will be seen as this type. If this is central bright band, then this is dark and this is dark. You can take it as dark band. This is dark. This is again bright. This is again dark. This is bright. So this is dark. This portion is dark, and this is bright. This is also dark. In this way, we can take fringes, different fringes on the screen. This is known as interference. Now, is there any energy evaluation in interference? Basically no, because I say earlier that there is a redistribution of energy. When the energy diminishes or decreases in dark band, it will arise in bright band. So the total energy is conserved in the phenomena of interference. Here, thus, as in original Young experiment, S is a pinhole, but in laboratory experiment later we define is a single narrow slit S. We know that a narrow slit produce cylindrical waveform, but here spherical waveform is come out with top and crest. Now in the point when when crest is fall on the crest of other waves, that is crest of 1 plus crest of 2 is equal to bright band, that is maximum intensity. Number 1, this is A. B, if trough of 1 is falls on trough on 2, then again we can get bright band. This is also maximum intensity. But if trough plus crest, that is top of 1 is falls on crest of 2, or vice versa, that is crest of 1 is fall on top of 2, then we can get dark band and intensity is minimum. This is the basic law of interference. Now, we can know in a simple word, interference is simply redistribution of energy of light wave, in which there is a central maxima at the center point on the screen surrounded by dark bright fringes. This pattern is known as interference, and this proves, what is this proves? This proves that light is a wave. So, we can get now the mathematical equation of interference. I know you know it earlier from various books or but I am trying you to understand it in a easy way. Suppose two waves have displacement y1 is equal to a sin omega t and y2 is equal to, this is a1 sin omega t and a2 sin omega t plus phi is meet and on the skin. S1, S2, this is S, then on skin at this point they meet with this form. Now, according to principle of superposition, the resultant displacement is the sum of this y1 plus y2. So, y1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus phi. Here we can use this formula sin a plus b equal to sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. We can explain this term sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t cos phi plus a2 cos omega t sin phi. Now take the sin omega t terms in one single bracket, that is a1 plus a2 cos phi sin omega t plus a2 cos omega t sin phi, or we can write it a2 sin phi cos omega t. Now, a1 plus a2 cos phi, we take it a cos phi, we can take it a cos phi. Let a1 plus a2 cos phi equal to a cos omega t and a2 sin phi is equal to a sin of omega t. Let us consider. So, if we put here a cos omega t, a cos theta, here omega terms is present, we get a cos theta and a sin theta. Then a cos theta sin omega t plus a2 sin phi means a sin theta, a sin theta cos omega t. Again sin a plus b formula will occur, a sin omega t cos theta, if we rearrange it sin omega t cos theta plus cos omega t sin theta, that is sin omega t plus theta. This is also a equation of simple harmonic motion. If you write simple harmonic motion, then we can again that the resultant disturbance is also a simple harmonic motions with amplitude a and phase omega t plus theta, which theta is the epoch, that is the phase at t is equal to 0. Now, we take the resultant amplitude. The value of resultant amplitude a square is equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2 a1 a2 cos phi. A square is equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi. This is the resultant amplitude. As intensity is proportional to amplitude square. So, if the resultant amplitude is E, then resultant intensity I is proportional to A square. The intensity of the first wave I1 is proportional to amplitude of first wave, that is A1 square, and I2, that is the intensity of second wave, is proportional to amplitude of second wave, that is A2 square. Then we can find the resultant intensity I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 root under I1 I2 cos phi. I know you can derive this mathematical equation easily from, we can write that A cos theta equal to A1 plus A2 cos phi. If we square the both term, we square and added the both term, we can get the value of A and I. This term 2 root I1 I2 cos phi is known as interfering term. Interfering terms. Interfering terms. Now, we can know the condition of constructive and destructive interference, that is constructive interference. Now, when intensity will be maximum? From this equation, if cos phi equal to 0, then intensity is I1 plus I2. If cos phi is equal to 0, then intensity I will be maximum, that is I1 plus I2, that is k into A1 square plus A2 square plus 2n A2, that is A1 plus A2 square. This is the maximum intensity, we say it max. So, what is the value of phi? We know from trigonometric solution phi equal to 2n pi. That is, if we take n equal to 0, 1, 2, then phi equal to 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, that is integral multiple of pi, n equal to 0, 1, 2. This is the phase difference. Phase difference. Now, what is the path difference? Path difference equal to lambda by 2 pi into phase difference, that is phi. Then path difference will lambda by 2 pi into phi. So, if we get this path difference in this position, that is if we take phi equal to 0, then this is 0 path difference. Path difference we say it P 0. If we take phi equal to 2 pi, then 2 pi equal to lambda. Phi equal to 4 pi, then it is 2 lambda. That is, path difference is integral multiple of lambda. So, phase difference is integral multiple of pi, and path difference is, that is path difference P equal to n lambda is the condition of constructive interference, n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, that is integral multiple of wavelength. If path difference is integral multiple of wavelength, integral by even integral multiple of wavelength, then we can get constructive interference. Then the intensity will be maximum, and what is the value of intensity? I1 plus I2, that is k into A1 plus A2 square. Now we go for destructive interference. This is the, if cos phi equal to 0, then phi equal to 2n pi. It can be written in trigonometric equation solution. Then we go for destructive interference. In destructive interference, when will be the intensity minimum? If cos phi equal to, we can get I equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 I2 cos phi. If cos phi equal to minus 1, then what can we get? I1 minus I2. I minimum equal to I1 minus I2 equal to k into A1 minus A2 square. K1 plus A2 square. So this is the minimum intensity. Then if cos phi equal to minus 1, then phi equal to 2n minus 1 into pi, where n starts from 1, 2, 3. In other books, this is equal to phi. In other books, this is written as 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. But here n is starting from 0, 1, 2. But if we written as phi equal to 2n plus 1 into pi, but if you take minus sign, 2n minus 1 into pi, then n obviously start from 1. So we can get value of, if n is equal to 1, then it is pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, and so on. That is odd multiple of pi. And lambda should be 2 pi, path difference should be p equal to lambda by 2 pi into phi. That is lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, and so on. So odd integral of lambda by 2. So the condition of destructive interference is phase angle must be odd multiple of pi and path difference is odd integral of lambda by 2. If we take phi equal to pi, then lambda by 2, phi equal to 3 pi, then 3 by 2 lambda by 2 and 5 by 2 lambda. So this is the condition of constructive and destructive interference. So in a single glance we can write is cons, that is constructive, and des, that is destructive interference, phi equal to 2n pi, here phi equal to 2n minus 1 pi, and p, that is path difference, equal to n lambda, here path difference is 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. This is the basic equation, basic solution of constructive and destructive interference. Here we can again say that n is start from 1, 2 and 3, but in other way, if this is written as 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, don't bother, here n is 0, starting from 0. So if we put 0, then it is lambda by 2 1, then it is 5 lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2 and so on. The result is same, but it differs putting the value of n only. So आज के लिए इतना ही. नेक्स्ट दिन इंटरफेरेंस चैप्टर के फ्रिंज विथ डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ फ्रिंज विथ एंड सो न्यूमेरिकल्स हम करेंगे. उसके बाद जॉइंट या नेट में जो जिस तरह से प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं उसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे. हर सेक्शन को हम 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड करके डिस्कशन करेंगे. वन इज थियोरी, देन वन इज न्यूमेरिकल, नेट इज जॉइंट एंड नेट. प्लीज कीप वॉचिंग एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड इट. थैंक यू.